Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Gauthier, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sustainable Business Network of Greater Philadelphia. The project that I'm speaking to you about today, the Local Community of Practice, sorry, I'm very short, so. It's actually part of a larger SBN initiative called the GSI Partners, or the Green Stormwater Infrastructure Partners. The GSI Partners was formed in response to our water utility, the Philadelphia Water Department's plan called Green City Clean Waters. Green City Clean Waters is the first long-term control plan for an urban area that aims to use green stormwater infrastructure as a way of managing stormwater. When our water utility came up with this plan, we were very excited. So in addition to being excited about Green City Clean Waters from a sustainability perspective, we saw the plan in itself as being a triple bottom line. So we predicted that in addition to managing stormwater very effectively and much cheaper than gray approaches, we predicted that this plan would create, holds the potential to create thousands of good family-sustaining jobs and had the potential to really grow our local businesses and had the potential to really impact our local economy in a positive way. But we knew that all of those additional impacts would only happen if a strong demand for GSI products and services was created in the private market, if the policies at the water department were appropriate to incentivize the use of green approaches, if innovation was fostered within the market, and if barriers to local business participation were removed. And so for all of those reasons, we created the GSI Partners. And through the initiative, we're mobilizing local businesses in our young GSI industry. And we're trying to ensure that they are the ones that can reap the economic benefit that is coming about through the investments both by our water utility and by the private market, and that these local businesses can be big players in shaping what is an emerging industry. And so the local community of practice, you can think of that as sort of a subset of the work that we're doing with the GSI Partners. So through the local community of practice, we brought together a very small group of respected industry leaders to help shape our initial steps through the initiative. Okay. So I have for you here the definition of a local community of practice by an expert on that topic. It's a group of practitioners in the same community who share a passion or concern for something they do and interact regularly to learn to do it better. Our shared goals were twofold. So it was about developing transformative leadership as well as submitting recommendations to our water utility, the Philadelphia Water Department, on how to remove barriers for small business and local business participation in the emerging GSI industry. The participants in the community of practice were small businesses and organizational leaders that represented a cross-section of the GSI industry, including women and minority-owned firms, prime contractors with the water department, subcontractors with the water department, and all businesses that wanted both to connect with GSI-related investments and to have an opportunity to shape this emerging industry. In terms of our process, we had two overnight retreats. Oh, okay, 2 minutes. All right, 2 overnight retreats in a series of breakfast meetings. In terms of what I think really worked about this process, so we had a set of non-competing businesses who were all aiming to grow their individual businesses, but also to positively impact the industry. And so I think that worked in terms of the different the businesses' participation in the initiative. I also think that one thing that really helped us to be effective was that we spent a wealth of time devoted not only to developing the recommendations to the water department, but on team building and leadership development activities. So during these retreats, we probably spent about 70% of our time really focused on group cohesion and team building. Things like talking for 90 minutes minutes about what each business owner does in the world and what they care about and what they bring to their work. Things, exercises like council, where we would have one business sort of talk about a business problem they were facing and have the other businesses suggest solutions toward those problems. Things like true confessions, which some of you may have seen at Social Venture Institute. And so I have to admit, in coming into the community of practice, I was a little skeptical and I was like, wow, this is like so touchy-feely. But I think that one thing that made the process really effective is that the group formed first, and then they sort of started moving towards the shared goal. In terms of continuous communication, so we have a Google group that the group would use in between in-person meetings, and then there was also a series of in-person meetings. SBN's role is the backbone organization. So my project coordinator, Anna, was the one who was on this project and led this project mostly. And so she acted as facilitator with a lot of assistance from BALLE, actually. We took our community of practice model from BALLE and was also provided with Ventana as consultants, and they provided a lot of assistance to the group and to my staff in carrying out the work. Our role included coordinating meetings. It included administrative duties like putting together the actual paper that we submitted to the water department and recording the things that happened at each meeting. And it included ongoing communication with the Philadelphia Water Department. And we were funded for this work by the Certna Foundation. Tracking and measuring success. So we did that in a number of ways. We did surveys after each retreat. We measured our ability to complete the actual things that we were tasked with, like completing this paper for the water department. We measured the extent of authentic engagement, and we measured our success in achieving the actual outcomes. We actually did provide hard recommendations to the water department around removing barriers for small business participation in the GSI industry. They touched on 6 areas, including policy, process, innovation, financing, contracting and procurement procedures, and resources. And one more thing I want to say about results before I wrapped up. So we not only provided these recommendations to the water department, we held a briefing with high-level officials at the water department that included not only us but our entrepreneurs that participated in the community of practice. We now have ongoing meetings with the water department to move towards our recommendations, and have even seen some improvements and early improvements in some of the areas, as well as a real sense that the water department wants to work with us. And our group, what we asked them for initially was a 6-month commitment to work on this project. They still meet. So even beyond the 6 months, they wanted to keep this going, and so they have a lot of ownership in their ability to be a group that impacts the GSI industry, and they are still working together. So thank you very much.